Look at this idiot right here, insulating a deer blind. I don't know who that fool is, but my friends, that is not hunting. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. For those of y'all that are new or have been here for a while, you remember where these solar panels lead to? Off that way to a very unique hunting blind. All right, so let's take a look at the inside. Let me show you what we're gonna be doing in today's video, because it's gonna be interesting. All right, so this build blew up on my channel whenever I decided to do some of that spray foam in here to, well, make this better insulated and a little quieter. And oh my word, at the crazy comments I got, people lost their mind. A lot of people telling me I was gonna rot the structure out, it was gonna burn down, just all kinds of negative comments. And then when people see me put an AC and a heater in here, their heads exploded. Some of the most vile, nasty comments you could ever imagine. I actually got a good kick out of reading a lot of those. It was pretty hilarious. It's amazing how upset and bitter people can get. I mean, there's some miserable people in this world. And to those people, if you're watching this video, your head's really gonna explode today. New AC, new solar power, new heater, all this is getting rearranged. I wanna get some room back in here. Plus, I've had this AC for a few years now. I'm starting to have a few little issues with the water pump draining. Bugs keep climbing up and getting in and plugging that little water pump. So I think I wanna get it out off the floor, get some room back. My dog lays here with me. I'm gonna do a snap back to a big power station and huge 24-volt battery that I had right here. Again, taking up a lot of floor space. Plus, I found out that inverter, when it gets hot, it has extremely loud fans that kick on. So I want to go to something silent and more powerful. And this diesel heater has been awesome. Puts dry heat in here, which is great. Doesn't fog the windows up, but it's a bit noisy and loud. There's a new model that I'm going to try that I hope is a little quieter. Plus, it's got some storage on it that I actually need for little knickknacks in here and other oddball things. And because we're about to be upgrading the solar power in there to a larger battery system and a more powerful unit, I want to upgrade my panels right here. And that also means this wire that I never protected like I said I would, we need to pull it up, and I want to go to a 10 gauge wire, which will allow us to make this system even bigger in the future, should we decide to get a little more wild and crazy out there. So we're going to trench and put it in. I got some direct burial wire. All right, that was a mouthful. You want to see me work, right? Let's have fun in this episode. And to all the haters, hate on. All right, so here we are in my processing room, and I've got an old window unit here that I don't use anymore, and that's because we put a sweet mini split in here, and I've tested it for a few months now. No issues, worked, so I feel confident ripping this out. And since I'm not using this, we might as well go stick this in the deer blind. We've got our AC installed. Yes, does not look good with the spray foam around it. My plan is after hunting season's over just to spray paint all of this black, but obviously I don't want that smell out here right now in the middle of hunting season, so we're just gonna have to look at a little bit of yellow foam for the next 3 months. So since I took that big battery and inverter out, we are going to put in, if you haven't watched my review channel, you should check that out. I got to where I don't do reviews much on this channel anymore for small power stations and generators and just small products in general. I've got a dedicated channel for that, but I just got in this new EcoFlow Delta 3 Max Plus. By the way, they're not sponsoring me to make this video. This thing is super powerful. I can run anything I want to hear, from ACs to all kinds of other electronics we're about to install. And one really awesome thing about this unit is, if you take a look on the back side, we've got a 30 amp Anderson port here, a 12 volt port. That's very, very important whenever it comes to diesel heaters. We can also add an extended battery here for a lot of extra power. So if we're powering up a bunch of stuff in here, which eventually we will, I have got an extra battery right here and the cable to stack on top of this and double my capacity. I shouldn't run out at all. The other cool thing about this is it has dual solar input, so we can put up to 1,000 watts of input here. We're about to go upgrade our array to 400 watts, which that should be sufficient to top these batteries off after using this in the morning. But the Anderson port's important because a lot of these diesel heaters, although the new ones are starting to get away from this, they run on really powerful 12 volt hookups. And believe it or not, they're actually too powerful for your cigarette lighter adapter. So if you hook up the Anderson port plug right there, these don't pull more than about 12 plus amps on startup because they got a glow plug in there, and then they ignite the diesel, exhaust it outside the fumes, and then you just get the nice dry hot air on the inside that's just recirculating through this. But the new diesel heater I'm supposed to get actually has an adapter now to plug into 120 volts on the front of something like this. So we don't necessarily have to have that 30 amp Anderson port anymore. And we can go ahead and test our AC in our hunting blind. Again, whoo, can't wait to see these comments. But you know what? With these Florida days right now, it's literally been in the 40s and 50s in the morning, and then it'll be in the 80s in the afternoon. So you could literally run a heater in the morning or just wear thicker clothes, no big deal. In the afternoon, it's hot enough. Oh, you actually will want to kick on an AC, and I can do it. All right, let's get this unit here. And I know the recording light's horrible in here, but at the end of the day, it is a deer blind. We might actually run some receptacles in the future. Put some overhead lights in here now that we've got a pretty powerful power station right here. All right, here's our cable to hook these together. I can't wait to show y'all this one. This one wrote to really get some people upset. I mean, if you're gonna do it right. All right, this one should get the comment section ablaze. I mean, if you're out hunting, say on a Saturday, and the game is on, you gotta be able to watch it, right? Am I right? Don't mind if I do. Now, like I said, in the future, I'll probably clean all this up. We'll run some actual wiring and real receptacles, probably a light up here. Who knows? We'll get as crazy as y'all want me to get with this, and we'll have fun in the process. Might as well plug me a phone charger in up here. Plus, I do actually come out here and edit and work. Sometimes use this as a second office. So now I can charge my laptop while I work, because it doesn't last as long as it used to. It's getting older. All right, so I was just getting ready to go down the stairs, and along comes this snake slithering across. I couldn't catch my camera in time, but it moseyed on to that sunny spot right there, and it decided to stop and enjoy it. I don't know if I can zoom in or not. Whoa. He gone. going up out there into my food plot. Yeesh, not typically what you expect in October. All right, so keeping with the lazy, convenient, easy, and fun theme of this video, I've got my excavator, and y'all haven't seen this in a while. Got my Lamont trenching bucket out. I've been wanting to use this. So yeah, an actual trenching bucket with a hollow cavity. See that tooth on that thing? Because we're actually gonna be digging through some rock and stuff. Yeah, that's made for trenching wires. Now, you can see it can go over like 24 inches. I don't need that. I'm just gonna scrape me a little 3 to 4 inch trench right down the middle. We're gonna have to go through some roots all the way up to the post on this side. I'm just wanting to go a few inches underground. We're never trenching back over here again. Not worried about that. So I want to cover it up enough that the squirrels that are running around don't see it, start nibbling on it, and cause me a problem. All right, so yeah, you're getting a sneak peek of what's coming up in this episode right here with an already completed new solar array behind me. So we interrupt this show to go along with today's theme. So keep in mind in this episode, with the comments being made, we're just having a little fun right here. The internet and life is full of negative people that can try to come after and attack you, and it's all in how you deal with them. I personally let it inspire me, and we're gonna have a little fun with it. Case in point, we're flipping some of our merchandise around on our store, and we are coming out with a new line of funny sayings, things, maybe going after the haters and trolls as well. So if you have some of those people in your life and you want to make a statement, check out some of our new designs that we just came up with. So here is a new shirt that we just launched, and we've got a couple different styles. I'll show you real quick, but do you get the joke right here? Opinions are like, well, we're going to keep it somewhat family friendly here. We've got a donkey who happens to be in a hole. A donkey known as ASS, we'll say, is standing in a hole. So opinions are like a donkey's also known as name, hole. I think you get the gist right here. So merchandise like this makes a little bit of a statement, but keeps things friendly enough. I doubt you get too bad of a looks out in public, or we shouldn't get too bad of comments down in the video description. And we've got these in all different styles and colors. Let me show you one more and then we'll get back to the video. So here's another design that we came up with along with some different color options. Same statement made. Opinions are like a-holes. Everybody has one. Again, just a funny stab at those people in life that always have something to say about everything. We appreciate y'all supporting the channel, and if you'd like to check this merchandise out, link is down in the description. Now back to today's video. All right, so here we are with our doubled up solar array. And let me show you what I've done here. So we've got one 24 volt panel at 5 amps. I've got another 24 volt panel. So what I did was I put negative to positive on these two panels, which leaves me with a negative and positive. That's called seriesing. So that takes the 24 volts and doubles it to 48 volts, but leaves me at 5 amps. I did the same thing with this panel and the new one I installed down there. Positive to negative on two different panels. That brings me up to 48 volts and at 5 amps. Then I use these little adapters right here, branch adapters. I took the positive from this 2 series set, positive from that 2 series set, put them together. That's called parallel. Now we keep our voltage at 48 volts per set, but because we paralleled positive to positive, we just raised our amp up to 10 amps. And this is all within range of what my machine is rated for. Did the same exact thing with the two negatives. I also decided to put me in a 30 amp breaker. This is something I've been needing to do, and it allows me to throw off power. So when I'm back up at the deer blind working on solar in the future, I don't electrocute myself. So we'll turn this on and go check everything out. And then I need to come back, straighten up my wires. I always like to leave a little extra because we may move this solar array around in the future. We may make it bigger. We may move it over a few feet. Who knows what we'll get into. And now I have an extra few feet of wire. The other thing I think I'm going to come do is put a post in over here, screw into the side, and do the same thing over here. Because we're in a hurricane state, I no longer trust an array this size on a single 4x4. So if I put a couple more posts in the ground and attach it, this will not move at all. We'll take the slop out of it. All right, success. Pulling 319 watts. And just so you know, it's late in the afternoon. So during the middle of the day, early morning, especially this time of year, I guarantee you we hit 400 plus on those Renogy panels. They are very efficient. I've always had really good luck with them. But I'm pleased to see well over 300 watts late in the afternoon. Lets me know everything's working good. Plus, we've got 100 feet of cable coming from here to there, so we're going to experience some voltage drop. That's just part of it. Okay, now time to clean the wires up, and I'm still waiting for my diesel heater to show up. It's one of the last things to button this build up. All right, so my new diesel heater came in just in time because we're experiencing a heck of a cool snap down here, even to be in Florida. It was supposed to be 50 degrees this morning. I woke up to go hunting and it was 41 degrees. The weatherman missed it by 9 degrees, almost in the 30s in middle October. That's pretty good. And we're supposed to get a heck of a cold snap here in a couple more weeks. And it's supposed to be cold again tomorrow. So I might bump this heater on when I do a little hunting. So there is absolutely nothing wrong with the diesel heater that's in my blind, but Vevor did reach out to me. I do work with them and I buy a lot of stuff from them too. And they wanted to show off their new lineup of diesel heaters. They have completely revamped their lineup. So if you are used to the old style, just metal side diesel heaters like I have out there, they have all kinds of styles now. And I found one that actually has some drawers and a little bit of storage in it. That piques my interest because I do leave things out there in the blind and I'd like to have a little bit of storage. So this one looks completely different. Looks a heck of a lot better actually than the old school style that I'm used to. Plus it's worth showing these off because I actually have a lot of friends that buy these for semis. I know some of y'all buy them for camping and everything else. Interesting. Now you can get easy access to the inside. I think I like that as well. The other thing I'm hoping for, maybe a little less ticking and loud noise, although the deer don't hear it in my particular situation. I don't know if any of that's changed with these new models or not. And the other thing I really like, now the exhaust comes out the side. Excellent, because on my old one, it comes out the bottom and you risk burning the floor or other things, so you have to put stuff down there, you gotta wrap it. Out the side's where it should come. So this one looks like it's really set up for toting, for camping. I know a lot of people use these for like van camping, overland camping, things such as that. They're very popular. You can see there's a screen up here. This one now has Bluetooth built in, so we can control it from our phone. It also comes with a little remote. I'll actually be using that. So it's got a drawer on the side. Here's all of our parts. This is what I'm kind of wanting. A little more storage in there than I was thinking. So here is all of our hookups, our exhaust pipe, cables. I don't know what the heck this is. Oh yeah, here's the new thing I'm really liking about these models. So in the past, you've always had to hook up to these with 12 volts. Well, there's a big problem with that. If you don't wire directly to the battery, well, these actually pull a little more than 10 amps. So your cigarette lighter stuff like portable power stations and things such as that, sometimes they trip with these. And that's only because there's a glow plug in here and it has to initially fire up, which pulls a lot of power. But once the ignition happens and you start burning on the inside, well, you go back to basically no power, just running the fan, so to speak. So now you get the option to run this on 12 volts, or you can run it off this power brick to AC. So I like having both options right there. It's also got a CO2 monitor if you're concerned about that. We got a fuel gauge over here that's pretty easy to see. Again, you can fill this up like kerosene or diesel. Whole top can come off. I think I like that. So now I can access, like say, my fuel pump down there, check for leaks. I'm gonna cut the little clip right here. I was hunting a couple mornings ago. It was in the 40s. It was a little chilly in there. I thought I'd kick it on. Well, that blind is so well insulated. I had it over 90 degrees in a few minutes and we had to cut it off. But that's how well these things work. All right, that was very simple and straightforward. Now I can actually take advantage of this little drawer over here, put my window cleaner and paper towels, a few other little things in there. So I've got my exhaust run outside. We're sealed, but again, we have CO2 monitor here, and I've got one up behind the TV. Yeah, there's a TV in here. That cracks me up. And I plugged the power cable in, and I plugged it to the back side of my Delta 3 Max Plus. I'm gonna go on my app, turn on 12 volts. All right, fill it up. Looks like we just take that top off. You can disconnect the cable if you want. Grab a little bit of diesel, fill this up, holds a little over a gallon. And if this is anything like the model that I just took out, and if this thing is anything like my previous model, it absolutely sips fuel. I can come out here and hunt many days, many hours at a time off of 1 gallon. Like, I rarely ever fill this thing up. All right, let's test this bad boy out, see what happens. All right, so see there, if we take a look down here, I do happen to have the TV going, but we're pulling over 100 watts. That's quite a bit. That is that glow plug starting to warm up. Whenever it's just the fan and the fire ignites on the inside in just a few minutes, this takes about 2 to 3 minutes to warm up and get everything, you know, ignited. That power usage will cut way back. All right, like I said, it takes about 2 to 3 minutes for this to burn in. So what should we do in the meantime while we're waiting on it to warm up in here? Let's just pretend it's one of those 20 or 30 degree days and it's freezing. Oh, I've got an idea. We can watch a little YouTube right here. Who's that guy? It looks like he is insulating a deer blind. What kind of fool insulates a deer blind? That's not hunting. This guy's crazy. All right, we're about 3 minutes in. I can hear it ramping down because I put it on speed 1 for the fan. That lets me know that the initial burn-in is complete. And wow, that is blazing hot air coming out of that, like crazy hot. All right, y'all, here it is just a few minutes later, 87 degrees. I am dying. It's only been just a couple minutes and we're already flying up. It's burning me to be in front of this. I am gonna be turning this completely off. So needless to say, it works good, too good. You could actually heat up a small shed or shop with this. This is why I always run it on setting 1. Now when it's 20, 30 degrees, whew, golly. When it's 20 or 30 degrees, yeah, I get it. You want to make for sure that you have something that can keep up with those kind of temperatures. And maybe some of y'all, it might be 0 degrees. And I almost forgot to give y'all your update on the blind. It's been like, what, a year since we insulated this? Maybe longer, maybe less, I can't remember. So many people told me I was gonna have major moisture issues and we're just gonna rot the structure out. Well, I'm happy to report no mold, no mildew, no smells. I even insulated the floor. The floor is nice and solid, like 0, and I mean 0 issues. I was very concerned about sealing the floor and that I was gonna trap a lot of moisture in here. All right, y'all, at the end of the day, I'm in the Taj Mahal of deer blinds. We've got the AC, we've got a sweet heater, we've got a super sweet solar powered setup. We're making plenty of power out there with the extra panels. I can watch the football games or a little YouTube, whatever I want. Yes, I've been trolling some of y'all that troll me. Is this hunting, so to speak? Well, yeah, I'm still gonna harvest stuff out of here. Is this the traditional man sense of shivering and sitting in a tree or walking through the woods? Absolutely not. But we work hard for the things that we have. I work hard for this property. And if I wanna have a little convenience, by all means, I'm gonna have it. Okay, hopefully you enjoyed this episode. I'm gonna put some links down in the description. If you see some cool stuff here today, I'll always do that. And if you wanna see how I insulated this blind, I'm gonna put a link to that video right here at the end of this one. Catch y'all on the next one.